Is it okay to recline a seat on an airplane? And puberty. Those are the topics on today's show. Here on Life of Dad, we discuss 2 topics on each episode. One heavy and one light. The dads will keep on talking until the bell rings. When the bell rings, they switch to the other topic. And then at the end, somehow, it all ties together. Okay. Reclining a seat on an airplane and puberty. David, kick us off.
I really feel like everyone has the right to recline their seat on an airplane. I mean, it's designed by the manufacturers to recline to a certain degree. But I think if you're choosing to fully recline, especially when you first sit down, you're a jerk. You're setting the tone to the person behind you that they're gonna have a miserable flight, and the back of your seat is gonna be about 2 inches from their face, and you're just really setting yourself up for bad vibes behind you.
It's interesting. I know when someone in front of me reclines, I don't get mad. It's just more like, that kind of stinks. Mm-hmm. So that's my internal reaction because I am taller, right? Mm-hmm. But I just always assumed it's the right of that person. So for that reason, I will kind of recline when I want to recline, but we've got to switch topics.
Puberty?
Josh.
I get puberty?
Yep, sure do.
I hope you did.
My kids have not gone through puberty. How I'm going to talk to them about this is I'm putting on the I'll deal with it when I need to kind of thing. Like I'm sure it's in the mail. I'll deal with it then. I went through it and lived. So have other people. I don't know how I'm going to deal with this one, and I'm not ready to think about it yet. I'm far away. Sorry.
It's going to come at you fast.
I know.
And we're not quite there yet. So 10-year-old, 9-year-old, 4-year-old.
I just remember how awkward and disgusting puberty was, and I know what it is, and I'm going to have to watch my son and daughter go through this, and it's going to be, oh man.
Yeah.
This is going to be frightening.
Yeah.
I'm much closer with it. My son is 11. He's in 6th grade now. Yeah. And he's, he's quote unquote had a girlfriend for a little bit or a crush. And I think all these girls, maybe see him as their crush. Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe they'll fly together someday until they recline together.
This is so weird because the reclining thing, I just assumed that I didn't know it was bad, like wrong to do. And I'm not a recliner, because I usually read on airplanes and I like to be sitting upright like a huge dork.
Yeah.
And I'd never really recline much except for every now and then. So, and when people recline on me, I was like, oh yeah, they recline for a reason. It's not like, I mean, and of all the flying things, I'll take that over somebody who's got no shoes on or something, and is dressed in their juicy sweatpants and eating a
double cheeseburger. That's the thing when you sit down and they're eating a gigantic cheeseburger,
some slime ball eating a cheesesteak.
Would you punch his seat? Because that's where this came from, the online debate. Say someone took their shoes off and is eating a cheesesteak. Do you start punching?
I will. If somebody's got their shoes off, dude, I will be like, nah, you're an animal. You need to figure that out. Did you go through puberty on your own?
So puberty. So speaking of which, not that I'm ready to wrap this one up yet, but it kind of relates. So my first flight, I was probably about 15 years old.
Here we go.
And I don't know that I have a puberty story to tell on that flight.
That's where we were going with
But what I do have is it was my first time flying, so I threw up on the plane. It was a trip with all my high school friends. It was a band trip. We were traveling, and I had never been on a plane, and I threw up, and that happened.
Did everyone freak out?
It was one of the horrors of puberty. No, I was able to kind of hide it, and I think I did make it to the bathroom. I thought I was going to do it in the little baggie.
You got airsick?
But I made it. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Really? Do you still get airsick though?
No, not at all.
I got seasick one time, or a lot of times, and it was the most miserable experience of my life.
Yeah. I have issues.
I would buckle under torture real easy. I know that from that experience. It was,
Right. So, speaking of sea men.
Well, wait. Did you just talk about puberty, or
I don't know. I think.
Which one was it? Did you morph from early?
No, I think you're right. I think we're back to reclining now.
Yeah. I thought we were on. Are we on reclining?
You converge. You conflate the two together.
Continue to converge.
So I guess it's whatever you want.
Well, I think I've actually done some thinking while we've been talking here. I think I came out a little strong on the reclining of the seat because if you're gonna sleep, you need to recline, right? But you're just setting the tone for the people behind you. If you cannot open a laptop, for instance, all the way if someone's reclining all the way, right? So that means if you are going to do some work, like you can't do it now. So
Yeah.
I think there should be a buffer. I think you got to give the half hour into the flight before you fully recline.
When I do recline, I do it with absolute ignorance. Like, I don't even want to know what's behind me. When I do it, I'm like, don't care. It could be like Lyle Zato behind me, and I'm like, I don't care.
But I don't know that I sleep it because the recline is so small. Yeah. Even if you do it in full effect, what's it, 4 inches, 6 inches? I have no idea.
The recline is so pathetic that it's not really worth like the.
I don't know that I sleep better when it's reclined. I don't know.
I don't sleep better.
I more sleep on the tray table. Yeah. Actually, I sleep better on the tray table, but
you can sleep on
worse
you're 6
if
like
the person
4.
in front of me
How
is
do you sleep
reclined.
on a tray table? How do you?
Oh, it's just both. You just put a pillow or a jacket on my arms and just put my head down on the tray table.
I don't know.
So if the person reclined in front of you, you'd be like crushed.
You'd be stuck in there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but how do we tie it into puberty to wrap this whole thing up?
You stuck like that was basically you in puberty trying to do that all thing that we thought we could do on our own in puberty.
I guess on the plane I'm forced into an awkward. If I am sleeping on the tray table and then that person reclines, I'm forced into an awkward position.
Yeah,
much like puberty and everything.
Puberty I think one tie together is what you said. Is that Josh? Is that you just don't want to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
And I think this reclining situation is something that no one wants to talk about either. You just kind of understand if someone reclines all the way back, you kind of do the. But no one really says anything, right?
Yeah. So if you see like a 14-year-old kid with just like the wispiest of mustaches, and you're just like, oh man.
Yeah. I think we should just avoid talking to anyone directly about it.
Let's just let him work his way through it.
That's right. And also, I guess with the seat puncher, if your kid's going through puberty,
you should maybe recap that story. I don't know if everyone knows that story with the punching of the seat. Yeah.
So there was the reason this is such a hot topic now and it's trending everywhere, or it was a month ago, depending on when you're listening to this.
Insert time now.
Yeah. Is this live? So there was someone on an airplane, and then they reclined, and they spilled the person's drink behind them, and then he asked them to unrecline. Is that a correct term? And that lady did. But then when he finished eating, she reclined again, and then he punched the back of her seat for the rest of the flight. And then she recorded video of it. Crazy viral online thing. Josh, were you going to say something?
Did he do the whole flight? Because if so, I actually appreciate the staying determined like that. Yeah. Like that, having that much angst is very puberty ridden. That's something a teenager, only they have that much hate, if that's what you want, like that much petty hate within them.
Yeah. So, I think you did it.
We wrapped it up.
We just solved it, everyone. Wow. That is puberty and reclining. Thank you so much for listening to Life of Dad. Please check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Life of Dad, and of course at lifeofdad.com. And we want more people to listen to the show, so please leave a rating or a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thanks for listening. Go Fatherhood.